Today, I want to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room. The fact that I'm not in a room, I'm outside. And I have, on occasion, recorded in the sanctuary, but the lighting isn't good and the sound isn't good, and it makes it hard for me to do that. But I also want people to feel comfortable and to be able to see the sanctuary at times. So we have in the this past week started a communion service on Thursday mornings at 10:30, which is in our sanctuary, and it is very short, maybe 20-25 minutes, in order to keep people safe from not sitting in a room where the virus could potentially um, give you too much of a viral load and cause you to possibly get sick. But I know that it's meaningful to people to be together. And so if you would like to participate in that worship service, just call our church office and that number, or reach out by email, which again is at our website, edwards-ucc.org. And I just want to talk about how hard things are right now. We have experienced a lot of loss. Literally, some of our members have died, but also the loss of moving about, going on vacation, going places, doing things, seeing children, seeing grandchildren, seeing friends, visiting in each other's homes. And there's a lot of loss. We have over 200,000 people have died from the coronavirus, and that's the largest number of deaths in the United States, probably since the pandemic in 1918. I think about how our country mourned the death of folks after 9/11, and I think about the depth of mourning for our country to lose 200,000 people so far, and the loss throughout our country. It's devastating, and for times like that, people want to gather. They want to go back to their sanctuaries, and yet we as a congregation have a COVID task force that looked through the scientific evidence about how the spread of the virus happens, and have learned from the studies about viral loads in rooms. And we have come to the decision that we won't meet until the infection rate goes down in our county, Scott County, and the county across the river in Rock Island County. And currently it's going up. And that's very hard. I wish it wasn't so. I wish I could wave a magic wand or give us all an escape hatch, but it isn't possible. And I was really somewhat comforted by our reading today from Isaiah, because in that reading from thousands of years ago, God says, I am not impressed with the things that you create. I am not impressed with your offerings. I am not impressed with what you bring to me, and where you put those things, and the extravagance of showing your faith and your devotion to me by bringing me those things. And that made me think that, God isn't impressed with our building. God doesn't care if we have a church building. God cares that we have a church community, and that we have. We have a vibrant community of faithful people at Edwards. We have people new to our congregation, people who are new to our faith, who are walking alongside us, sitting wherever you're sitting. And while we can't just focus on that 1 hour on Sunday morning like we were doing, we can focus on the church 168 hours of the week. And God is impressed in this reading with us when we do what is right. God is impressed with us when we seek justice. God is impressed when we defend the oppressed, and when we take up the cause of the fatherless, and we plead the case of the widow. These come to us from the very roots of our faith and were made flesh in Jesus. When Jesus came to live, that's exactly what he did. He showed us exactly how to take care of women by standing beside them and making sure that they were not second-class citizens. He revealed himself after his resurrection to the women. There were women who worked alongside the men in the early church. He took care of the outcasts. He included his love for people who were not Israelites, who were Samaritans and who were Romans. He sat and ate with people that were outside of the Jewish faith, like the tax collectors and the people who were seen as unclean. Jesus showed us exactly what God was saying in this scripture about how we live. And all of those ways are ways that we can continue to live today, even without that 1 hour in the pew on a Sunday morning. And I'd hazard to say that if we're going to keep living into the future, that is the future, because our world is bigger than our small little communities anymore. We keep in touch with our grandchildren by WhatsApp. You see your family members on perhaps Marco Polo or Skype. We are reaching people now through who we are out in the world, and that does live on and that does continue. I invite you, I'm standing by water today because I think of this in terms of our baptismal call. We were, probably most of you were baptized, maybe as an infant, because your parents wanted to make a commitment to you that you would be raised in a church community, and to the church community that you would be a part of them. You might have been baptized as an adult where you made your own declaration of faith and your own willingness to follow Jesus. The water itself is life-giving, and that is a symbol of God's grace to all of us. And this is an opportunity, as we as a church look at what is our mission, what is our vision in these new times. It's an opportunity for all of us to look at what is our own personal mission and vision, and how do we live out our lives now in the environment that we are all in together. So I invite you, the next time you're washing your hands or taking a shower or washing the dishes, to be reminded of that grace that flows over you and over all of us in this water, in this life-giving love of God, and of the vision that Jesus gave us on how we too can take care of each other. Amen.